Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here. As always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. This, I guess, will be my last video from here at Myrtle Beach. And it's kind of crazy that me and the missus came to the beach, and we actually went out on the beach a couple of times. We was walking on the boardwalk and stuff and things, but we've actually been working on a lot of stuff. My wife has redone the website, so you can go to cowboyjoeboo.com. She's been working on different designs and shirts and things like that, so you can check those out if you'd like to. And if you just go and look, okay, just go and look. You ain't got to get anything, just go and look. But we've done some other stuff planning as far as our lives together and what we're going to be doing and hopefully getting accomplished before the NFL season. I still got a lot of work to do over the course of about the next 5 weeks, but I want to, as soon as the football season gets here, that's all we're doing is football. And I have to say that it's been nice to be here, get away, to not have to worry about the regular stuff and all that for a few days. But I am so ready to get back home and get back to work because I love working. I love at the end of the day, I can look back and say, I put up that wall, or we built that shed, or I did these cabinets. That's my personal satisfaction. I always feel like I need to get something done. And I never get satisfied with what we did. I'm always trying to fit more in today so I can do more tomorrow. And if I do more today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day, then in a week, I'll be further ahead than somebody else. And it's crazy because you get people who will be jealous. They'll act like you had everything handed to you, or you're doing well, or they'll make excuses on why they can't do what you do. Well, the thing is you can do what I do, but you got to put in the work. You got to be willing to get up in the morning early and maybe work a 14-hour day. You got to maybe understand that you got to learn to do things that you never did before. And that's how you get things. I've had this journey on YouTube now for as long as Dak Prescott's career's been here. And I have learned a hell of a lot in that 9 years. But you know what the amazing thing is? With 9 years of experience, with 75 million views on this channel and another 20 million views on my other channel. I don't know that much as far as YouTube goes. I've only scratched the surface. There is so much more to learn. And you can never be satisfied and say, oh, hey, I made it. Because I saw something that was 100% right today. And that was Cam Newton was talking about, basically bitch slapping Gilly. And I'll be real with you. I've only seen Gilly in a couple of clips and had no idea who this guy is, other than a loud mouth Eagle fan, which is all of them, okay? But he had pointed out something that was so profound and so 100% right. The thing about social media, and actually media in general, is it can be here today and it can be gone tomorrow. How many one-hit wonder songs have you seen before? There's a lot of them. How many times have you seen an actor get one role and you think, oh my God, this is the greatest actor ever, and they never get another job? And we've seen personalities come and go. The amazing thing here is like Joy Taylor, she flash in the pan. She was big there for a while, Now she's like, a Southwest commercial. I want to get away. I just want to disappear. And you think about how big FX1 was just a couple of years ago. You remember? With all the shows, of course, you had Skip and Shannon, that was like, just literally was giving First Take a run for its money. And of course, Get Up. I mean, not Get Up, I'm sorry. Not Get Up. What is the other show there? First Things First, and the Cow Turd. That those shows were huge. Those personalities were growing like crazy, and you thought they were going to be there forever. But now you start looking and saying, wow, what's Acho going to do now? What's Joy Taylor going to do? What's Shady McCoy going to do? June Jones. All of these shows on Fox and stuff. And now Shannon Sharp. I guess he's got the Shay Shay podcast, but he's been fired from ESPN. And, Skip Bayless is still trying to stay relevant, blogging, and maybe blogging is the thing. I mean, that's where everybody's kind of going now. It's kind of insane that if you lose your job, I guess you just go to YouTube. I guess that's how it works these days. And some are really good at it. Cam Newton is definitely lighting it up and doing great things. Skip Bayless, not so much. Joy Taylor, nah, not working. But I digress. I'm sitting here reflecting on a lot of different things. It was actually depressing watching Greeny putting together the numbers on Micah Parsons and equating it to Jerry and Stephen Jones. I remember Animal House. Going through life, fat, drunk, and stupid is no life. And I have to say, watching Stephen Jones in that interview yesterday, where they were actually asking him hard questions about waiting on getting Micah done and, the things that they do and how they've hurt the team. And you see Stephen Jones there with the sunglasses on. He's got his sunglasses on there, and he's got this big old smile and laugh. Each one of these situations are a little bit different. And I disagree with 90% of what you say. You may disagree, but the facts are there. You guys don't have that sense of urgency to get it done. See, you have to understand that the Eagles GM, Howie Roseman, they talked about getting rid of him more than a couple of times. Y'all remember the famous Philly 500 clip? I effing fired him. Howie Roseman just a tirade. That his job, his livelihood, and his ability to pay his bills was on the line. And that sets a fire underneath your ass to say, I got to get this shit right, because there's ramifications. And that I have to work hard to find the players that I need to make sure we're successful so I can have a job and a career. Do you think Stephen Jones has ever had to worry about losing his job? That if he makes a mistake, that he's not going to be able to feed his kids? That he's going to have to find another job? Oh, yes, there was that one time when he had the party at the house that Jerry talks about, that he was supposed to be, at football practice or whatever, and he's got, 20 friends over at the house having a pool party, and they took him to Wendy's, and told him basically you're going to get a job there. There's that time. Maybe they need to take his ass to Wendy's again and try and get it done, because he's basically saying, well, Jerry doesn't really talk to the people and stuff. That's my job. Well, you're failing at your job. And what doesn't make sense is when I look at Osa Nagazua's contract, when I look at Ferguson's contract, those contracts are actually really good contracts for the team and for the player. It's a win-win. Why don't you have that sense of urgency when it came to Dak, to CD, and to Micah? Because collectively, getting those things done when you're sitting here penny pinching about $500,000 for Trayvon Diggs because he didn't work out at your facilities. How is it that you sit here and worry about the little mindless minutia of trying to save those pennies, and yet you let the big dollars just go away willy-nilly right there? I thought for sure that the Cowboys organization had changed. And they fooled me again on this, because I thought that after Stephen Jones got clowned at that opening press conference, that it seemed like the organization had changed. Jerry Jones wasn't out as vocal. They were letting Shoddy seemingly run the football team and things, and bring in the guys that he wanted. That they got Osa done. They went out and they made the trades for George Pickens. All of a sudden, you start to think, okay, these guys are finally getting this. They're finally getting their shit together. And then lo and behold, when you figured, okay, they'll get Micah Parsons done and out the way, get extra cap room and start working on some of the other guys, we're sitting here in week number 2 in training camp, and our most important player is standing on the sidelines for no good reason. From his draft class, him and Jamar Chase are the only two that have been Pro Bowlers every single year. And every one of those guys in that first round are on their second contract, except for Micah. Cowboys, you have done a guy who has had your back and has done everything that you could ask a player to do, because I tell you what, I wish I had 10 more guys like Micah Parsons on that defense. You have treated the ones that love you the most the worst. That goes with Zach Martin. That goes with Dak Prescott. That goes with CD. That goes with Micah. You can go down the list. And it's one of those things that make you embarrassed to be a Cowboy fan and supporting the Joneses, knowing we're just making them richer. And they don't give a rat's ass about what they do, whether it hurts the team and hurts us or not. Just don't. And they don't work. They don't work like there's somebody that actually wants to get a Super Bowl. No sense of urgency. But me, I'm going to get back. I got about a 7-hour drive. I'm going to get back. I'm going to get back to busting my ass and trying to do everything I can to succeed. I really and truly am thankful for all of you guys. And I appreciate you guys. Sometimes I ramble. Sometimes I probably don't make any sense. Been out in the sun too long. But I really and truly am thankful that I have you all. And remember, tell the people you love how much you love them. Today, I was we've gotten the application in for the red brick house. It's actually a long application process for it to get put into the National Registry. It's taken some time, and when you're dealing with an old house, everything takes some time. And I'm not the greatest at estimating time. And we were working on it before my dad died, and after my dad died, everything just went sideways. But we got the application in, and they were asking for more pictures of the house, because what they'll do is they'll put together a PowerPoint presentation about the house, and having pictures of the house and some of the details and things are beneficial to make the case for it to be historical. And so I'm going through my phone and looking for certain pictures, the logs that are up underneath the floors where we believe it was originally a log cabin and things. And I'm going through and seeing pictures of my dad, from taking him to the hospital and getting him out of the hospital and things. And that's a wound that's still healing. And that's why I always tell you guys to remember to tell the people you love how much you love them, because you might not get the chance again. And I love you guys. And we'll see you tomorrow, God willing. Peace.